I think you're underselling yourself. See, this is what I'm talking about. Lene already showing off his arms. You know what? Maybe we flex a little bit later too. You know what I mean? This is what I mean by Pacific is probably the most jacked region. Talent-wise, player-wise, probably the fittest. You know what I'm saying? No bias.
No bias there at all. All right. Bind is our first map. This was a selected map, I believe, by Full Sense. Z11 was the one that is going to be bringing out Corrode. Just looking quickly into things. So far, Full Sense haven't played Bind at all during Split 2, but they did play it a lot, somewhat a lot, during Split 1 with a pretty high percentage win rate, 2 out of 1, and really dominant performance throughout in that one. So you don't know that they have that experience. Fontes, though, is just not going to know the timing as he gets pinched. There could be a rotation here quickly, though, as there was a triple TP from Z11 to call right now for Full Sense just to go the other direction, which is going to net them that A-side take. Well, still, though, you have to be aware of Killsui and should be going around the flank. Laz, hearing all of this rotation right behind him, or in front of him, he's going to have a nice little backstep as well.
Oh my goodness, they're fully aware, Aster. Laz, come on, man. Don't mess this up. I know it's hard to shoot somebody that's not looking at you, but he's so clean. He gets one.
Peek, Killsui. He's trying to position it, timing, but it's not going to work out. Laz able to take down HYK, and that's going to be a great start right now for Full Sense. It's just a great call altogether. There's nothing to be said about that. Yeah, that kill on Octagon really started things, didn't it?
Really did. I mean, number one, I think Fontes was really leaning on the fact that this is going to be one of the hardest reads he's going to make, or one of the improbable gambles, I would say, because I think he was expecting like a waterfall play from Hookah. But that didn't come into life. You saw the lurk play, easy kill. But again, it's one of those things where you have to trust your gut, and it's a judgment call ultimately. You can't really go into the VOD and say, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Or you could, if you really want to say that. I don't know. That's up to you.
I mean, it's how you kind of view things, right? It really just depends. We can look at the same clip and have two different takes on how and why it happened. That being said, though, Full Sense, different approach this time. Very much the snail approach. I think, that last round what you saw as well probably was just a spur of the moment kind of thing. Once they heard that triple swing or triple TP from Z11, they're like, okay, there's no reason for us to really go that quick here on A. But now that they have the setups, now they just, let all hell break loose. No contact whatsoever. Defenders did back away, so it's going to be a 5-on-5 on the retake here with just the one Sheriff upgrade in the hands of HYK.
I agree. Everything has to be contextual, especially when you're VODing, or especially when you're trying to dissect a play here. But right now, Full Sense have full control and have all the advantages in the world to really shoo this away. If Z11 is going for just like, hey, don't give them any orbs, let's just die to spike call, I think that's also incredibly sensible. Now, I would say, though, that Lene always has a high expectation simply because he's had Pacific experience. I think that's one thing that everybody agrees on.
Yeah, for sure. I think he just didn't get that shine that he was kind of hoping for with teams that he was able to join. Maybe a bit of highlight here and there with Talon, with Secret. It felt like, well, I think with Secret I only played like once, and then shifted up to Talon, and then he got a revenge match that won against them. But other than that, he really was, I think, more with the preparation side of the team, even though he was like a sub player, a 6-man, so to speak. This time I'm happy that he's able to swing out or spread his wings. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
I remember it was also on Bind. I remember he was, taking deep breaths coming into the match because it's difficult. You didn't play the entire season, and now suddenly you're subbing in for an incredibly important match.
Yeah.
So there's that bit of info, but
HYK.
Oh no!
The way he just runs out into the open. That'll cost him a lot, as he had to get bailed out by 2 players who also traded with their lives. That is a huge lapse in judgment there. That nade follow-up onto HYK really brought this round around. Still, you have to see if Lene as well as Fontes gonna be able to make this happen, as they do have utility and the weapons to still back things up.
Still relying on their veteran to maybe pick up the pieces again. Pretty hefty tool belt to work against. Leviathan does have that outlaw that could potentially one-shot Lene at the moment. Fontes trying to buy a bit of time, but no, he gets eliminated. And this might just have to be a surrender here on the side of Lene just to keep his weapons intact. And now look at this. Great read by Full Sense. Already aware that he should be trying to exit. And my goodness. The one-winged angel hits him with a one-tap. Blows out the round.
Another point on the board there for Full Sense. Resetting the economy of Z11. But yeah, this was a grave mistake. As soon as he got out of that grab net, he ran out into the open. Not really what you kind of want from one of your duelists when they should be able to throw a nade or so. So that being said, yeah, okay. Economy not looking too hot for Z11 here. But they're just trying to control as much ground as they can at the entryways of these sites, but so far it's been ineffective. So what's the answer? What's the mix-up even here on just the pistols?
A good question. I mean, normally you'd want to maximize the decay plus the ability to one-shot with the Bucky. But so far, Full Sense are not allowing themselves to fall into this specific situation. Now, I would think that they're going to maybe insert a lurk either towards B-Long later in the round or Hookah, unless they're going to full send this. But with that coming into light, materializing out of nowhere, they might have some second opinions on this ass, right?
Oof. All right, with these sheriff shots, man, the slow approach is not really working too well for Full Sense here. They're getting caught by the sheriffs and Hardora. Ooh. Doesn't have the gi on his name, but no, we'll take it. Potter, right around the corner, gets caught by the sheriff, and now it's just down to Sephiroth. Can he go about high with this one? He hasn't even planted the spike. He gets stopped, gets contained, and somehow a thrifty round won by Z11. Great shots with the classics, or with the sheriffs all together.
3 upgrades as well on everybody's side. Composure, composure, composure from everybody here. I like the fact that none of the players got bloodthirsty after the first kill. Some players and some teams tend to really spring into action after that first contact. I know I'm guilty of that. But no, Z11, maybe with a veteran presence and maybe with the things that they've learned across the months and months of playing in officials, found their more temperate approach here, Asterai.
No escape.
And we have to remember, Z11 was actually one of the more proficient teams when it came to weaker buys.
That's true. We were able to show a lot of these nifty little tricks. Still, though, I mean, Full Sense playing this slow setup, or slow approach into a setup, and gets disrupted by Z11. You know, can't really have that working for them. HYK now getting much more grounded with his approach, able to get a kill off of the lurking Vice there. Leviathan is already down. They spotted them outside of B-Long here. A couple of shots popped, but no, nothing to connect just yet. Here comes the double smoke. Triple, actually, if you look at things. Haunt going to be used. Flash as well. Repositions, but this Haunt is doing so much information gathering as well as damage. Sets up a beautiful chokehold with that grab net as well as the crown on top. Just stop the offense of Full Sense. Back to the drawing board you go, and Z11. Beautiful stuff.
Z11 mounting a recovery path here, and looks like they have done enough to maybe, just maybe, shoo Full Sense, or at least temper their expectations for the matchup, right? Because if we really go back, it was pretty lopsided, right? The round differential was heavily in favor of Full Sense. This quite early, and this is Full Sense map pick, so we'll see how they adjust from there. We do have a lone sheriff on the side of QQ God here. Nightfall are they gonna invest it onto the site? But look, they go for the similar action again where they prioritize Garden and B-Long control over Hookah again.
This could actually pay off. But they're out in the open here, but look at that catch. Laz looks at the other direction. The catch onto Sephiroth. Lene has to hold his onto it if he can. And that's not going to happen for him. Leviathan holds up, gets the upgrade. Hardora now backs away. Smoke gives him a bit of coverage here, especially with that toxic screen. Hits the shot onto QQ God. The nade comes into rain.
One enemy remaining.
They try to rush right in. It's not working out for them. Hardora hits 3 kills in a 1 versus 3. Just holding beautifully the back of the site. He didn't even break a sweat through all of that contact that he went through.
Not at all. Now, Z11 looking far more impressive than we initially forecasted. Looking mighty sunny over their side of the fence. And despite getting a few trades here, I definitely think there was some sort of disjoint there on the side of Full Sense.
Let's go, guys.
Looked like they were about to give up a lot of 1v1s on B-Long before they could get out of that tunnel vision. Now, economy somewhat stabilized on both ends here. Killsy with the operator is still pretty or rather, one of the more devastating players to wield that. Looking to make a statement here, but so far has remained undiscovered.
Now, Full Sense still haven't really abandoned the idea of going for B for the most part. I think they like the option of going for that quick little teleport if need be. But so far, Z11 has been pretty dang good at just stopping them from making that happen. Now, this time, though, Z11 haven't really pushed out of B-Long so far. So maybe that's the mix-up we're kind of hoping to see. Leviathan alongside Sephiroth now looking to go for a potential A take here. The smokes really drew drop down. Where is the spike in hand? It is still going through A short here. Killsy. Hunt is going to give away their position. Does he have a TP away from this? No, he's not. He's going to just have to run away. The orbital strikes right in. The quick little charge from Laz. But there is Fontes on the intercept, but they didn't really remember that there was the push coming in from Showers as well, and that costed them 2 players already here. HYK coming in for the wraparound. You can see that Sephiroth really looking to delay him if possible. Goes in with QQ God as well. The fight goes in his direction. That doesn't really connect. Goes for the chase. Runs away from things. Still doesn't get a kill here or there. Leviathan, a much-needed strike, and he just drops straight into the embrace of Laz from the looks of things. Lene able to hit a shot, but that's not going to be enough as Full Sense take themselves over the round, and then round advantage to boot as well.
Great patience on the side of Full Sense there. I thought it could have been a slight fumble for them to invest their molly just to maybe keep the Rays at bay. But regardless, they're burning so much time that realistically Z11 had to make a mad scramble for it. Now, we're seeing the first signs of a weaker economy here with the amount of half armor and regen armor on the board for Z11. That was a few ultimates, if not one of the most impactful ultimates being burnt. But Potter, Leviathan, as well as Laz still have theirs. A lot of singular picks could potentially happen. Potter looking to line it up. Does he jump in? No, he does not, Asarai. And this could be stifled before it starts.
Wait, how close are they on Octagon? They're just like side by side from the looks of things. Lene, where did that come from? Double shots with the classic. Annihilation activated. Who actually tripped it? I think it's Laz that used it. Was he able to reel one in? Looks like that's a no. Kelsey was already pretty far from the positioning as he does try to move around, push outside of Elbow for the meantime. HYK making some noise as well. Now they know where the last 2 players will be. They're trying to join up on the approach, double up. There's so much delay tactics from Full Sense. I think the route here is to just save the weapons. HYK looking for a flank. And yeah, I don't think there's any retaking here. Maybe just exits, and that's about it. So far, Full Sense making a damn clear effort of the things. And that's going to be them picking up another kill and another round to boot.
Convincing, yet again. A lot of refinement in a Full Sense post-plant here, making this such an incredibly difficult effort for Z11 to really get into. Now I'm looking at what they can buy here. It doesn't look like they can afford too much. No operators, definitely, but they should still be in good hands. First time out of the game here on Z11. They don't want this lead to grow into anything too crazy. Now, the one big thing that Full Sense were playing with was the pressure of having all these ults. They're not going to have this coming into the round now. So Z11, they could maybe run it up and maybe change the tempo. Because the rounds that they did get a little bit more aggressive on was, I think, slightly more successful. Barring that one sheriff round last right where Full Sense just kind of walked into their pre-aim.
Can they make that happen though is another question, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it does feel like, you know, Full Sense have adjusted. I'm not sure if you saw that on camera. Just dad things.
Well, it's always good to see supportive parents.
Yeah. What are you doing there, son? Are you winning? A little bit,
winning,
Dad.
son?
2 more rounds.
Not yet.
Yeah,
But
not
we
yet.
will
Not
be.
yet. Still, though, like you mentioned, right? It is wishful thinking. I think that that's gonna happen now. But what's the adjustment that Z11 will try to do that could make that into a possibility once again? And it seems like the answer is another double peek here on Bats and just maybe net a challenge, because it is just the one player that's going to be holding it. It's just Leviathan here at this point. He is by himself. He looks the other direction. He could be in a world of hurt, and Hardora just, well, takes him away. Takes him out of commission.
Shout out to all the parents, by the way. You all are the realists.
Yeah, the
Now-
all kings and queens.
Full Sense
ones.
looking to establish their kingdom here, Aserai. But they don't have that Sentinel, so the leaks are going to be a bit more dangerous, especially if Z11 choose to repopulate and reoccupy the space. Laz has to stay alive. He has that annihilation. It's so important. But now he could be so far removed from the team that it doesn't even matter. But an ankle breaker? Is this another hit-re-hit fake? Z11.
It could be, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think they're on
They've gone
to it, too.
around
They're like,
already
wait a
here.
minute. They're back.
Yeah. HRK's already been spotted here on short. Lene holding the other opposite side. I think his head has actually been spotted there, and that's gonna cost dearly. Another TP? No way. They're actually gonna use it again. Oh, they're gonna march their ways into A. The op shot misses as well from Killzy. That's gonna be quite a critical mistake, if ever. But you see the flag coming in from Fontes. The flash also commits as well as connects. And now it's going to be a 2 versus 1. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Laz, the timing. 10 seconds. He's going to throw the grab net. Knows exactly where Hardora is. We'll hear that breaking as he plants the spike. Plays it around. And now he's thrown out the sound sensors. Ooh, very close. He knows where he is. Does he take the proactive approach, which he does? Hits the kill. And that's going to be 3 kills for Laz. And the clutch even. The better thing, the clutch from him.
Kill them fast.
Close, but no dice. We roll again for Z11. With Full Sense. They remain in control. See, this is what I mean. When Z11 are just allowed to fight, the chances are quite high, but they have to pace themselves. They have to know when to engage in these types of exchanges. Now, Full Sense, they know damn well their post plan has been incredible and continues to be so. Don't think they're really, you know, forced to adjust anything at this point. Unless the 11 shows something crazy. Again, they turn their back once they're taking B-long control. A small habit that they would want to change, but that Prowler could be bait. That Prowler could be a false sense of security here.
Smoke's already been put right in front of their eyes. I think they do want to push through this, though. Potter could be exposing his position through that if he actually gets a little bit too far into things with the boombot used. The flash out still gets caught. Tries to reposition and kills the just a hair line away from being caught. Able to gate crash to reposition. Still, he's been scared out of Octagon. While the rest of Full Sense, the second half, working their way towards Hookah here. Nothing spotted, nothing connected just yet. Leviathan has the operator in hand and doesn't really want to set up some util For in the meantime, does have some razor vines that he can throw at the back of the site just in case. 2 more smokes available for Sephiroth here.
30
It seems like he
seconds
will
left.
set it up.
Beacon here.
1 in both entrances, 1 each. And that should allow them access into the site. Haunt might be a bit too shallow, so that's why you're seeing QQ God just check around positionings here. That gravity well is making it difficult to plan it safer. It seems like
Spike
there's no
planted.
real punish for that, and it will be a play into the post plan as we go. 6-3, and there's still an operator in the hands of Full Sense as we do play the retake.
Well, how does this pan out for Z11? They've tried, and they have come out short. This time is still winding down. Killsy has found a few targets here, and he finds QQ God straggling out in the open. Down to 23 HP, still goes unnoticed, but Laz finds HYZ for absolutely no reason. The third frag of Killsy's way. They still have to weed him out before this post plan is sound and safe for Full Sense. And yet again,
One enemy remaining. Last
Leviathan
player
and the rest
standing.
of the gang, they will it to victory. No more time, regardless if Ardora wins this Asterai. And Full Sense are now getting into the rhythm of things. Z11. They try with the same formula, but still, they're not getting the numbers they want.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the Z11 are trying to go for the dart and dash, as you can see here. Even using, you know, the dimensional drift on the retake, but unfortunately, it's just not able to really get that punish that they're kind of hoping for. Because, sure enough, you know, it's distracting, it can be confusing, but it doesn't seem to confuse Full Sense enough. They're so quick to find the bearings that Z11 setup just gets shrugged aside. Sure, you know, if there's a flash here or there, but I didn't think Killsy had any more flashes to work with, so that definitely reduced the impact of his dimensional GIF retake and the rest of... Oh, his team
Gun
coming
here.
in! What a shot from Leviathan. Just saw a
dear.
bit of just the sides and just
Here.
takes away at Lene.
Is it Lenny or Lene? Like, I think this has been a discourse for a number of years now, but what we do know is that he's still a pretty good player. At the moment, though, with a disadvantaged economy, can't really shine just yet. Leviathan walking up to slice up the site with this operator. And Z11 desperate into winning this B retake Asterai. They've tried overloading Hookah. They've tried just flooding out of Elbow and Killhole, but none have worked so far. And looks like this is the story again. Potter finds the first frag, and 3 more players are awaiting more options. Killsy actually boxed in. Literally, can't he even get out? No, he can't. He's stuck.
You know, they can't break that orb, that barrier mesh as well.
Oh my
Take him a
goodness.
pretty long time.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, when you can hit shots like those, are you
That's all good.
really afraid of being stuck like this? Sure. I probably didn't really also notice that he was inside of that.
No
Who would,
surprise.
right?
One
Quick little
enemy
peek out,
remaining.
and there's
Ew.
Laz just
Did I get inside
stepping
your
on
head?
business. 2 kills.
Last round
Well,
before the
I
switch.
don't think we
Buy
were
what you
expecting
need.
anything too crazy on the
Otherwise,
side of
we'll go
Z11.
through very
I mean, we're still taking into account that this is a really effective eco team, no doubt. But again, Full Sense have looked impenetrable
No
on this
surprise.
retake. That's
One
right.
enemy remaining.
Their spacing has been great. They're not tunnel visioning on like these smaller leaks on the side, and they're just looking at it like as a whole. You know what I mean? They're being incredibly objective about it.
Bring them down.
Oh, would have loved to
Again?
see that shot. I think it's Killsy. Yeah, he was playing somewhere
Pulling them
on
in.
cubby or on short and got caught by it. Oh, did he just use the grab with the sidestep? He is. Wait, that's 2? That's 2 players caught by the orbital strike, and they just get devoured by it. HYK didn't even give him the chance to get reeled in by the annihilation, and that is going to be our first half. Full Sense 9-2-3.
Goodness me. 2 back-to-back dominant halves.
Can turn it around. I mean, it's still very possible. They're going to be on the attacking side this time. Double duelist and everything.
Time to
Very
jump.
built for aggression. We'll see if they can actually deal with the setup and everything. Killsy just gets as close as personal as he can. Gets caught, but will get immediately traded by Lene. Lene, excuse me.
We'll just have to ask him, honestly. We'll just have to ask him how to
I
really
keep
pronounce it. Yeah.
forgetting. Yeah.
Because I think it's
been a-
Lenny, but, you know.
I think it's Lenny too, but yeah, I think we'll stick with Lenny.
Sure.
Such a cool way to pronounce it.
It is.
Anyways.
I am worried though that KLZ has been the first find, regardless of the side that they've been taking for the last 2-3 rounds now. Alarming.
Yeah. What's even more alarming, I think, is just he's not able to
spike.
really get that alley-oop that he's that you would expect when you're playing as the Yoru. Usually, sure, the Yoru always dies, but you always have a follow-up to it. But because he keeps getting caught, I think on off times, Z11 are just able to maximize that contact pattern thing. So that being said, though,
30 seconds left.
I like this one, though. Shear's going to get triggered.
They can TP.
Razor Vine, they are caught, but they have given coverage because of the smoke, so, I mean, it's not too bad.
Oh, that's such a great heads-up play, though. But they are going to get peppered down here by Leviathan, who's been looking to sink his teeth into the rest of Z11.
Planted.
Time is winding down, but doesn't matter. The spike has been unleashed onto the site. Laz, undiscovered in this corner, could find out timing on Hardora, but they're still too preoccupied with the rest of the attackers. Now Hardora forced to take some space here, especially a disadvantaged situation, but now gets caught into the loving arms of Full Sense Crossfire. All up to Fontes and Lenny just to keep this post line
player
alive,
standing.
as some fancy shots are just not enough to ward off the retake. My goodness. 10-3.
That was... that was just great, honestly, for Full Sense. Nothing you said about it. Z11 had also an interesting way to approach the site. That double smoke that we usually see from Vipers on a short was a good tactic, but just the trigger discipline from some players and then swinging in for a good enough pinch with the rest of the players of Full Sense. I think that was Sephiroth that was just holding an angle on Trash, and he was able to get a pinch on the one guy. I think that was Hardora that was pushing in. That's some really next level stuff, and it is putting a dampener on the way that Z11 want to go for the play on this. Oh,
I agree. Well, this is definitely going to alarm the rest of Full Sense that there's a party going around Bats here. Lenny is going to throw at Taunt just to get some information, but again, with Classics and a really conservative buy, the best thing that they could hope for is pretty much the spike down and see if they can get a few stray frags.
Oh,
Spike
stray
down.
frags is, well, the name of the game for Full Sense here. Leviathan hitting the nasties. Kills Z. Completely red on his swing out.
One enemy remaining.
There is going to be a kill from Fontes here. That's just about that. And Full Sense really putting an emphasis on the fullness of how they're controlling these rounds. 2 more to go, and they will take the first map.
Two more rounds, that's right. 2 more rounds. We have seen a pretty inspired
Spike
comeback
down
earlier,
A.
or at least an attempted one. Hopefully Z11 can do the same. Because once again, we are kind of expecting them to gear up for these more experienced teams, because this was their kryptonite in the previous split, especially when the playoffs came around the corner. We're super early into the season, so they still have a lot of growing room if they choose to develop that aspect of their game. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is still a really young team. Not just like org-wise, but also player-wise.
Still, though, I mean, this was a team that was, you know, poised to really position themselves as one of the top teams in Southeast Asia. But man, the caliber once we hit like split 2 and split 3 really went the other way. That's a great shot there from HYK, opening a potential rift into the defense of Full Sense. Still, they haven't committed to this fight yet. The potential TP could still go into it as Lenny is holding on to that spike. Maybe they're also just waiting to go for a setup play, all just committed through a long here. That being said, it's still not fully clear, but you can see the repositioning from Leviathan just shows that he is aware that that could happen, and he might just be playing intercept outside of
30 seconds left.
showers.
Spike down,
Still,
B.
it looks like they do want to go for this fight
Over there.
into the B side. Any nades or anything. QQ God's going to be around the corner as he spots out the one, gets the kill. TP from Killzy. The get any shots as
remaining.
the timing from Sephiroth
down,
as he
B.
comes in for the drop. Fontes goes in for the chase, but the judge is just too overwhelming to deal as Full Sense go in for map point.
Finish him off.
Oh my goodness. Z11, they now have the luxury of rearming themselves for a better buy, at least in this round, but they had a good opening, right? Just not good enough to capitalize on the rundown. I mean,
Down B.
again, on paper, they should have had the better weapons here, but the judge and the outlaw respectively finding the range. Z11, we're hoping for good things to happen for this squad, basically.
And so far, no dice. Hasn't really gone their way for basically the entire game. Just 3 rounds for on Z11's to Z11's name. And they're just on the weaker weapons too. Sephiroth's just a turret on top of the site as he gets 2 kills. That's Lenny as well as HYK sleeping with the fishes for this point in time. Dora now trying to create an opening here if he can. If he's not careful, he's going to flash out of his mind. See already where it's positioned. Oh, just smack dab in the middle. Of that.
Good hit.
Flash comes to swing.
Flash.
Repositions it. Sheer. Stops them in their tracks for a couple of seconds, but this is crucial timing that could allow Leviathan to just reposition. Yeah, sorry.
I was hoping maybe Killsy could have found a timing there, but Leviathan, so patient, not giving anything. Don't fall into it. This is a trap. You can
Oh, no!
No.
He can't get saved. He's a mummy.
And he can't return. Oh dear.
Ooh. Through the Nightfall too. That is just brutal. And Laz, the finale as he takes away at Hardora, putting themselves ahead in the series 1-0. Full Sense with a dominant performance. Map sequence or the training map portion.
Yep.
That one of the mid sites, I think that's B site, but we'll see. This is also the first time I'm going to be casting, I think, both of us on Corrode. So
Oh yeah.
we're going into this blind, chat. Let's get to it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. I mean, this is as much of a learning experience for me and Astor as for it is the players and maybe the viewers out there. I know someone's gonna say like, oh yeah, well, you know, this map has been played like once or twice already on the other regions.
Yeah, I
And
think more
I
on
just really
China,
don't-
I believe, as well.
Yeah, you know, the cool thing about CN is that they're always like coming up with new stuff. They're always so willing to experiment with the comps. I think triple controller was super prevalent there before it really came into light. But hey, we're gonna go into the map fighting and swinging.
HYK wasted no time going aggressive into it. Took a bit of damage for his troubles. Not getting any kills himself, nor doing any damage against the enemy team. Speaking of the enemy team, it's going to be Full Sense starting on the offense here. As seemingly they do want to go for this A main approach, slowly encroaching. HYK did get a glimpse of Sephiroth there, so he decides to back away and reposition, maybe call his teammate for a bit of backup here as they're about to go for the full commitments. And it is going to be the 4 players of Full Sense. HYK's timing.
One enemy
And
remaining.
look at that. He is
Spike
just
down
ready
A.
for it. Getting the 4K immediately. Laz could get chased for an ace here. And they know where he is. Somewhere down lower mid. Backing up into his own part of the spawn. And he's going to have to go for the long walk just to get that spike in his hands once again.
I don't
30
even know
seconds
if
left.
he's gonna make it to the spike. I mean, we talked about how Laz is so good at staying alive and just being a presence in the game, but this time he's on his lonesome with 25 health against a very healthy Hardora and Fontes. HYK sure is 1 tap away, but it doesn't matter. He gets the ace, and that's gonna be the first of the day of, I believe, the regular season for the split as well.
I'm out of here.
So big congrats to Z11, getting that round, getting that momentum back. Going to that previous point though about this map, about Corrode, at a quick glance, it just looks like a set. You have catwalk, you have a lobby that immediately leads into a fight. You have a B lobby that if you don't put a trap on, a fast flank could happen. So it's kind of like Ascent. Hopefully it develops, or hopefully like we study it a bit more to see what the intricacies of this map really are. There's a small gap in that smoke that Hardora could abuse.
Ooh, a bit of lineup here and there already here for Z11. Let's give them a bit of information. But no contacts just yet. That was just a marshal in the hands of Hardora too. So couldn't really trace the tagged player through the wall. That's a full sense just slowing the pace down once again. HYK now with the Outlaw holding the position on the A side by himself. Just making sure he can hold on for as long as he possibly could. It feels like I think Full Sense are just taking a slower approach into it. Just maybe getting a feel like waiting. Ooh. Going at this one by one. That's going to cost him if it's possible. Okay. Is he going to peek into this? I'm curious.
I don't know. I mean, anything can happen at this point. We've only really seen a handful of show matches and a few officials on this match, right? But
30 seconds left.
I think we're at the lifespan, or at least at the point of the lifespan of this map where teams are just gonna look to play aggressive and abuse timings that not everybody is familiar with. Which is completely fine, but Z11, they're looking really, really good here.
Enemy remaining.
At least for the moment. No way Laz gets a spike down now. Font is already waiting in the wings, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
Planted cage.
Might not survive, but should be able to at least get some money off of that. Timing is going to be quite crucial for him, and he does hit a shot. He backs away for the reposition. Now Hardora
This is so scary.
doesn't know. Goes around. The timing is going to be so crucial on this one, and he hits the shot.
Sorry.
Hardora was looking in the opposite direction, and Laz with the 1-2 step. Woo!
I'm sorry I doubted you, Laz. What a clutch by our Sentinel player here on the side of Full Sets. So nerve-wracking, though, watching him cross that wall that's made out of paper against an Ares. I mean, that's the thing about this map, or the whole gimmick of this map is that there's just so many potential wall bangs.
Oh my god.
This is a nice
Yeah, it replaced Ascent from being the most bangable map on in Valorant.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We lost you for a second there.
How many seasons? That's right.
I think like maybe a solid month or two before Corrode came out, right? From the changes of Ascent.
Well,
Anyways, yeah, moving
that's also
forward.
true. Actually, there really isn't another map where you have like a super iconic wall back. Maybe Haven could be one of those, but it's really not as prevalent.
Yeah, not as like straightforward as Ascent, right?
Yeah, where there's just a wall.
Yeah.
Shoot the walls.
Welcome back. Ascent 2.0 on Corrode.
My goodness. My goodness. We got rid of one thing just to replace it with something a bit similar. But hey, again, I feel like it's just a bit too early to really jump on the gun here and what this map is really like. We still have a few weeks maybe to... Actually, a lot of time to see how the meta is gonna brew. And it looks like Full Sense already have some maybe heads-up lineups here. And that is just so unlucky.
Trying to trace through! Lenny! Oh,
Damn.
God, a shorty.
Spike planted.
Connection hits her. Dora! As well, just charging right through the smoke. My goodness. You know, there's something about this map that just makes it so easy for these pros to just swing and hit so quickly, too. Sound in the hands of Killsy. Only on the classic.
I mean, what weapons are there to be picked up at this point? Probably nothing. I mean, he's just here to pretty much just die to the spike, avoid getting farmed for an orb. What a turnaround by Full Sense, really. They were meant with fireworks, and they just returned fire with a clutch themselves, and now it seems that they're looking to dominate yet another map. I'm really curious if there was also... I'm pretty sure there was some specific, like, map-specific prep for this. But nowhere near as drilled,
30
I'd assume.
seconds.
I really like that small play, though. You know, just don't let the barrel stick out. 1, 2, 3, boom. Really cool.
Yeah.
This goes here.
No, I'm just checking into the lore as well, because they don't really talk about it often. I think even on the what do you call this? The sick videos for the agents and stuff. Corrode is a French castle turned Radiant salt mining factory.
Ooh.
It's in, I think, Normandy? I don't know. It says French castle, but then it says it's located in Normandy. You know what? Confusing, but there is also a confusing fight happening right in front of our eyes. Here is the dash right in from HYK. He likes to overcommit, and this overcommitment might be the cost of his loss of life and his team. But hold on. Killzy making a bit of splash. He's able to make that happen, but it's still not going to be enough.
Spike planted.
It's a 1 versus 3, though. Fontes, same angle of approach. Slowly marching. Slowly approaching as well. Tries to isolate a fight here. Should spot out Leviathan as he goes for the peek. The swing. Doesn't know that there's another one coming in for the backstab as there's QQ God with the headshot back of the cranium, and that's going to be another round here for Full Sense.
Absolutely lobotomized. Z11 trying to shoo away Full Sense, but just to answer your question, Aster, why is there a French castle in Normandy? Well, for starters, for example, brutalist architecture started in, I think, somewhere in Europe. I'm pretty sure it's Europe. I think it might be the UK, but it pops up everywhere. So, you know, cultural exchange is a great thing. Much like how our teams kind of run into each other, like how different teams from
Cultural
different
exchange
regions.
of bullets.
Exactly. Like how does this team play? What is their philosophy on how they want to take the map? And then you see teams like Z11 and Full Sense, which are from the same region, but have a completely different approach to how they want to play. Look at their roster construction, as well as like who takes first or what type of utility they throw in. But before all this nerd stuff, we're gonna get right into the fisticuffs. Sephiroth finds Fontes, and that's yet another freebie on these early picks. I thought Z11 went over this on Bind.
I don't know, man. It's can't really shake off the you can't really shake off the approach so quickly into that second map. And it's slowly getting out of hand here for Z11. At some point, they're gonna have to call for a timeout. You know, try to figure things out here.
I got the spike.
It's a good show of force for Full Sense, though. I do like the ideas that they're kind of going. I think the approach here is very similar to what we're kind of expecting from them, which is to just go for this aggression. Anyways, HYK, he's ripped it. Oh no, wait. He's caught by the Han, right? He's gonna get shot through the wall or something. Looks like that's a no, but he is blitzing through, and he's gonna lose control of the electric hands pretty soon enough. Killzy right beside him, maybe to just go for an intercept. And can they plant this spike with 10 seconds left into the timer? Looks like they should be able to. Hardora picked up the Vandal only to get swiped away from his hands the second after he just cocks it for the fight. Unfortunate for him.
The Valorant gods have forsaken him. I think that's what he was thinking. I have a gun now. I'm gonna switch. Never mind. But once again, I really think it's these openers that Z11 have been happy to give out. I'm not saying there's something inherently wrong with holding angles, but it's been a problem for Z11. So now you think about the opposite end where it's like, okay, so are they just supposed to give up that space for free? Not really, right? But I'm sure there's other ways to do it.
Well... Oh. Here we go. About to go for a setup here. Leviathan's got the Nightfall primed and ready. There it is. Back of the site. Should get spotted, but Fontes just a turret at the back of things. Suppressive fire, as he loves to point out. Sephiroth just drops right in. Will get caught by the Hunter's Fury. He gets pinged out on that trade. Great catch of Fontes once again. Hiding behind positions here, and shots through the wall, shots through cover. Just give C11 a fighting chance as they put themselves a point in.
Definitely a better score line than what it could have turned out there. Although I'd still believe, like, or I'm still wondering what Z11 really have in the bag for us here on Parode. Because I think you brought up a valid point where maybe they just threw this in as a curveball, like for no other reason. But I'm also on the stance that they should have prepared something for this. I'm sure they have.
And this is the, I think, culmination of, you know, or we're seeing the culmination of that preparation from Z11.
Man.
Right? So far, though, now they're getting a grasp of the tempo!
Ew.
I mean, the one that didn't have the Odin did the thing through the wall. That's just unfortunate. Hardora is going to reposition here. He does have the region shield, so it's going to be back up to 125 there. Still, losing Lenny so early as well is going to be a big cost of life for them. Oh! Nice shot.
All right.
Through the legs, too. Wait. No, it's a flick up. Can't hit a leg shot and survive. Unless he was half shield.
Well, that's something we can maybe scrub over later on. But Hardora could have a
One enemy
multi-frag here.
remaining.
Yes, he
Spike down
does!
mid.
And what a spray transfer here to keep them alive and to keep them competitive in the series. One more by Fontes to edge closer and closer to tying things up. Z11. Maybe this is where they break out.
This is the time. Honestly, for them, great control. They've stopped the big bangs of full sets here, and these slow approaches is giving a lot of leeway for HYK to, you know, have more confidence with his op shots and Hardora to do Hardora things. This is the same exact kind of sequence that we've seen from Hardora in those 1 versus 3s. He's so good at being able to find these pocket positions and just have the multi-kills. Nasty, nasty stuff to say at the least. Ooh.
Scanning ahead.
How nasty can it be?
Oh, Hardora still
More.
doing things.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 versus 2.
They have to clear that corner, man. They really have to clear that corner. It's just been a problem.
Yeah. I think he also timed like the shouted step just so that, right? He can mix up. Right, now
Does he go over it? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. Ooh, I like the 2-man flank squad here, but if they go for this flank, though, they will get spotted by the tripwire. So unless they can like crouch over this, no, they can't.
They can't.
Yeah, so they just have to shoot it. Oh, there's a camera there too.
Great. Buy time. That's all they need to do. Just buy time for this 2v2.
Barrier
Be
deployed.
winnable. Oh, that could be really smart by Killsy. But I think that still leaves the angle open, though.
No, they're letting them get into the site. The wraparound from QQ God. He doesn't even know about this. Not even there. And
Wow.
Laz. That was a very confusing time, I think, for Z11. Where are they supposed to look at? To be honest, where?
I don't know. I mean, it's really one of those maps. It feels like this is a map where you have to, I guess, strip for everything. Have so many reps on just because you have these timings. There's so many timings take into account. Is he gonna peek from heaven? Is he gonna peek from this little cubby? I know they're all wall bangable, but we can't realistically check everything, right?
Yeah,
Sound
exactly.
sensor up.
And like you mentioned, it was a pretty smart use of the barrier mesh, but fortunately, just not really where they wanted to block it. Especially with so many angles of attack there. In full sense. Ooh, he got spotted. He was just a straight runaway. As soon as he feels that heat, he's like, nah. We don't want to get burned. We don't want to get scorched, sizzled, blazed upon. It's going to be that thrash, and I think it connects. But they can't really push through this, though. That grab net stops them dead in their tracks. And the suppressive fire for so many players of Z11 here. Let's look at the damage. And it seems like there's nothing.
Not
It just got
lots.
brushed apart. Yeah, that's just the decay, I think, from the poison orb, but that's about it.
Suppressing fire. He just let it rip, but it did its job. And they even find Laz lurking. Oh dear. Oh no, Sephiroth.
Oh, he's so close.
Oh no, Sephiroth.
Lenny.
They know.
Aye, there he goes! Double kill for Lenny. Good stuff. Even puts some fatal damage into Potter. Little peekaboo from Potter here as he gets some quick information. Does have an operator in hand, so he's not really looking for those prolonged gunfights. Just an angle, an opportunity to hit a shot. QQ God's gonna have to hold this by himself for the meantime, as he does feel the pressure coming from behind him. The timing is gonna be crucial. No way.
No,
Fontas
don't turn
knows there's
around.
something right in front of him, but he can't really do anything. He's gonna get flanked by Potter potentially. The half on the defuse already. And it's, oh, no. I think this is
no
just gonna be a
time.
straight defuse from Z11. And that is a cost on the operator too. That is just gonna hurt. Oh, he couldn't actually save it, but the round still gets picked up by Z11.
That was such an infuriating round. That was such an infuriating round. Because we have like the X-ray and everything, right? Obviously, they don't know where they are, where each other is. But when you have all this information, it's just like, oh my goodness. You can't help but react. And the thing is, had he a rifle in that moment, Aster, I think that would have prompted him to be a bit more aggressive. Maybe I'm looking at this in hindsight, but Fulsan's going with the timeout again. I believe this is the second one already that they're willing to burn.
Yeah.
And it does look like they don't want to prolong the series. They just want to finish it here and now. But going back to what I said, I cannot believe the unholy timing of everything that happened. I think QQ God was holding down right click just to see if there was anybody gonna peek that pixel angle. If he would get a quick tap, the moment somebody swings, he turns around. And then we see the op be completely ignored. Of course, they didn't know he was there. So it's just like, this is so tense. This is so crazy. I think these are like probably the best moments in Valorant.
Yeah, this is probably the reason why there's so many tight-knit corridors on Corrode, just because this is the type of approach that just happens with it, right? You're never really safe around the corner. You're never really feeling confident with those fights. There's always a risk. There's always something. So that being said, right, full sense here. They still have a round buffer, but Z11, even though they've lost a couple, they have the resources as well as the firepower to just outlast this opponent. And Lenny just hitting some nasty shots with the Odin here, able to trace Potter back to sender. Sephiroth using the From the Shadows as an opener, but can he really find one? Paranoia gets caught. Herdora throws it out and actually deals with him. And now full sense, all these mix-ups just honestly punishing them ultimately.
Yes, ultimate. That's the word of the day here. Lenny runs away with the Odin. Now, they do have a lot of room to just kind of wait. And I think Killzy is in a good spot. I'm not entirely sure if he's visible from this wall or this corner. Oh, okay, never mind. He is.
That's nasty. Didn't know there was like a window there too. So it's gonna be a retake. It's a 4 versus 3. Numbers favoring Z11. Like you mentioned. Yeah, that gasp. Leviathan not taking any shots and not afraid to hold his ground from the looks of things. He is not taking any damage whatsoever. And he's still pocketed. I don't think he knows where he is. If he can hold that position, this is going to be huge for him. And there it is.
No
The explosion
way.
in Leviathan. Perfect time. He swings. And Pontus is alone in this fight. Snakebite used. That's going to flush out the one, but Leviathan still holds the superior angle for the 4K.
Find you.
I think this map is probably one of the funner ones to cast in the future. Especially when like, or at least if it remains chaotic this way, right? But over time, I'm pretty sure teams are going to figure out how they can position themselves. But that crossfire was just so valuable for the team. And the fact that Killzy actually got found by the Dizzy,
Yeah.
that's so unlucky. I was actually kind of hoping that it'd fall short just so they'd have this pocket position too. But again, you saw the strength of these corners where you kind of just need a friend to pull attention away from you and just do damage from behind. Now, I'm surprised they're still not wallbanging this this Kami in mid because they've just done so much damage, but no way there's going to be another Sheriff kill here, especially with QQ God ready to trade.
Revealing area.
Oh. Nope. No triggers, no trace through the wall, nothing but Lenny. Laz is taking... Gonna feel that in the morning. Tries to wrap around. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Nightfall for a bit of safety there to clear out the portion of that A site. It's gonna get planted in. Fontas looking for a fight here. The connection only hits the one. He's chasing for the kill here, but might get punished for it. Actually, immediately backs away as he doesn't want to over for this one, knowing that still Killzy could go for the refrag and doesn't want to give the equal numbers in this retake. Z11 only having the one Phantom in the hands of Killzy and Lenny with the Sheriff. They do have a recon dart, so this is something that they can use for this potential retake. Haunt been thrown out. Some sort of retaliation. Lenny
One enemy
has
remaining.
been stellar.
Last player
Wrap
standing.
around, and he's still good with it. The wrapping as well from Sephiroth catches. So much mobility, so much movement, and still in the end, full sense.
Last round in the half.
The one thing that they did well is to damage this economy enough. I don't think we're going to be able to have a completely unrestricted buy here. They're probably going to have to compromise it with like an upgraded pistol or a guardian or a marshal or anything of that sort.
Last player
But once
standing.
again,
Concentrates over.
the road has just been a puzzle box that so far Full Sands have been up to speed with, whereas Z11 they have a few tricks, but it's just not as consistent as we thought it would be.
Now Z11's the one that's calling the timeout here. Not as effective as he mentioned their approach. What is this? This is the first timeout for Z11.
Z11,
and
yes.
Full Sense have gone double. Just the one.
Sorry if I sounded muffled. I had a sip of my coffee there.
All good, all good. I got some tea here as well. Not the juicy tea, you know, that you kind of chatter about, but this is actual tea. It's green tea with a bit of honey.
That's actually really good for work. Honey and tea. I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this conversation, but
The drinks.
either way,
Yeah.
yeah. Z11 might need a bit of time to just kind of take in on what they want to adjust from. And it does look like Hardora gets early tagged by the Cypher Cam here. There should be a sound sensor to assist him. But Z11, they're still focused on probably mid. They have 3 players there. And Full Sense, I like their patience, Asar. They're never really too keen on, you know, greedily taking space.
Yeah, I wonder if Hardora was able to spot that no one actually committed to that inside. Yeah, okay, so this barrier mesh will give away a bit of information from the looks of things. Lenny's just backing away here, respecting that Dizzy could put a gripe on him. Ooh, gives away the information as well that he has an Odin in that corner. Seems like they do want to go for the fight on it. The stun to connect, and look at that crossfire.
What?
QQ got through it. Was that through the smoke? Oh, okay. 2 more players rating. It's gonna be Fontas and HYK, but damn it all.
planted.
Damage be done as well. They've just lost a good chunk of the map. Their team in this round.
I think Z11 might actually be shooting themselves in the foot here with going for a stubborn play like that, Asher. They knew all the utility was coming their way, but they chose to stand their ground. Again, maybe it was a judgment call. 2v5 though, before we can science this one out. We'll have to see if Z11 have enough in the bag to claw their way into this. And that's the first 2 kills, now the
Last
third.
player standing.
Fonta's doing a little bit of
One
damage here, but
remaining.
Leviathan denying the time. And all he has to do is stay alive, but that's a cherry on top. That is the half, and Full Sense still being as dominant
Switching
as they
sides.
have been in previous matchups.
What a sequence from Full Sense there. They went in for the swing. And we'll see it here on the replay right there. It didn't even last a
player
second. The swing to get the catch on the, or excuse me, a lot of forething, no backing. Full Sense has been. Okay, I had to take it back because it didn't feel like.
one-sided.
Yeah, exactly.
Revealing it.
There is no back, only forth. Sir, you mean one-sided. And I think it continues with last shredding the head of HYK. But you know what, Asar? I take the floor. You are a wordsmith.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And you are a word wizard.
Stop.
You're a word wizard, Raphael.
Listening.
Okay, so
How
far
could you
though.
dox me like that?
Spike planted.
Anyway, so far Z11 having a pretty good time on this contact of theirs, able to get the spike and keep the healthy numbers as the retake happens. Potter now coming in close contact with the spike. Nothing really shown by the attackers. Is there a wingman for the defuse like that there is? Nice use of speed to get out of harm's way for the meantime. Throwing out the stun and everything as they go in for the quick little fight, for the quick little punish. Comes around the corner, needs to hit the shot. It's a 1 versus 1.
3 bullets.
Lenny
Kidding me right now?
Timing.
swings! And does he have enough to go for the defuse? I don't think he
Yes,
does.
yes, he does.
Wait, really?
Oh, wait, no.
It's gonna be close, but no dice, says
goodness.
Z11. Gets the spike. Yeah,
That's crazy.
indeed it is.
This is way too close. Oh my goodness. I think these pistol rounds probably have been the most interesting rounds of the day because you really can't tell, especially on a new map like this, right, where it's just chaos and just fight after fight.
Enemy remaining.
No.
Big sigh of relief there though for Z11. At least they get the pistol and now have a chance at converting this round and maybe, just maybe, flipping things on its head.
Yeah.
Standing ahead.
Interesting choice though to put Laz on the Bucky here when they do have a lot of options. But I guess they just gotta hold a close angle here.
Such a meaty shot from the Primordium? So
I think so.
Yeah, so angry. The sound.
I don't think that's how it sounds. But you know what?
You know
Do
what? I am not a soundsmith, so I try to imitate, but I can't really do an accurate job of it.
It's okay. The important point is you tried. It's like if you were a mimic, instead of turning yourself into a treasure chest, you might turn
Okay.
into a recycle bin. Like it's close, you know. It could have things in it, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
necessarily the same thing.
It's a trap.
But that's
Out
alright.
of charges.
One man's trash is another treasure. But this time they get lit up. What was that? What was
Yeah,
Kiki God
I'm
doing?
out of here.
He couldn't
Tried to
escape from
jump
the
up.
grab net. That's the thing, I think. He got caught by it.
Planted.
And he was just jumping out of the line of fire, I guess.
Oh my
Anyways.
goodness.
Yeah. It's about as good as it can go, I think, for full sense here. This is probably the reason why we saw so much commitment from Full Sense in the first half, because they know that something was probably up in the second half, where Z11 would have
Revealing area.
their second wind, especially in the attacking side, when they can dictate the pace so well with the setups. Oh, Leviathan wants to take a piece.
You have got to be kidding me.
Straight up. Oh, wait. They can actually stop him. Oh my god, it's close.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
Oh, that was so close. And they
I do
caught
agree.
like 2 more players with that.
Yeah, I do agree with that sentiment though. Like where you always have to learn how to attack a map first before you do anything. Because retaking is still attacking, and I just genuinely think in tactical shooters, attacking is more difficult
This goes
because you
here.
have to, you know, learn all the angles that you have to try to snuff out with utility or with a face check, whatever. But Z11, they're now close to evening this up. Astra, I actually think they have a fair chance of taking this bonus round
I'm
here.
out of here.
You're probably right as well. There's only like 1 player, no, 2 players on the B site. That is Potter as well as Laz. Still, multiple rounds of approach. Lenny might not get spotted, and it's beautiful backstab here as well. Nice little upgrade potential for him as Potter. What was that? Laz has to go ballistic with this, but only able to get the 1. Another falls right behind, not short or not soon after. And Leviathan is trying, baiting them in to beat him at his own game, which they cannot for the meantime. Spike still gets planted though, as 2 main players of Full Sense try to get in closer to the fight. Inside that smoke is a trap that they've sprung, and it's actually backfired just a tiny bit. But still, the fight ensues, and look at that wraparound. Fonta's able to get that refrag, and we are 1 round away from equalizing things between the 2 teams.
As we said, they had a realistic chance of taking that bonus round, considering that these weapons were pretty much engineered for some of these closer angles. At the same time, there's a lot of abusable timing, especially at this point of the game, especially at the point of the map's lifespan. Sephiroth, it's completely understandable why he turned his back. Nobody really expects the double smoke stack And now, Full Sense, they might be scratching their heads here. I think they have a reset for their timeout, so they can definitely burn one here if needed. But they'd have to pull out some sort of trick here just to keep themselves afloat. Z11 are now at the cusp of tying everything up.
So close. They're about to go for the burst into the A site. Oh, even through the grav net. Seems like it just... HYK is just unfazed. Positions as well. Gets in for the fight. Already knows that Potter is just so close to that positioning. Goes in for the swing. Another one coming in from the backstab. He gets caught by Hardora. And Z11 is back on track, baby. Laz is the only one remaining in his endeavor. Exit frags is the only thing that he's probably gonna be able to do. So he's gonna play that game for as long as he possibly can, giving a breather if he could as well, so that his team can go for a longer discussion on how the hell they're gonna bring this out back against Z11 that has full control of this second half.
4 rounds unanswered for Full Sense. Looking quite mortal here. Z11, on the other hand, very inspired performance so far. It just feels like the defensive scheme for Full Sense just hasn't matured enough. Again, it's a new map, so we can't really expect teams to be incredibly proficient at this. Or if they are, then it's gonna be limited.
Yeah. Now, there's a huge discussion here of whether their coach, Leaf, can give that important breakdown on how Full Sense is gonna be able to make this happen. Like you mentioned, they are having a difficult time of figuring out what the defensive setup sequence is, and Leaf has to dissect that in easier bites for his team in the span of this timeout. And was that timeout successful? We'll have to see coming into this one. Well, Full Sense has the buy around and has committed to also getting that operator for Potter.
Well, that's challenging for the support staff to, in real time, you know, give this information, make it digestible for the team, and immediately find actionable outcomes for it. But man, Z11, they are ready to rock and roll. Potter has a different preference here, though. Stops that beat entirely with this operator, but still, body advantage going in the way of Z11.
Yeah, and he can't really get that close fight
Spike planted.
with that operator, too. Now that he's down to 36, Fontes, I think, has a perfect time on. Wait, his brain lagged for a second there. Yeah, I think he might have also sneezed.
I did sneeze.
Yeah, I think he himself might actually have sneezed. Or something.
Oh, no.
There's something that that delayed him. Anyways,
Maybe it's
Annihilation. Oh! No big yoinks, though, but when he does get a catch through this,
Enemy remaining.
little swing around from Killsy. And now Potter, yeah, he's out of there. He can't really risk the operator. Exactly.
Yep. Wow, Z11 wrestled the lead away from the depths. Really, I think it was like a 4 rounds up, 5 rounds up before the half started, and now here we are, Z11 with the lead. Full Sense are stomped. They're lost, but I think we kind of expected this too. This is a new map with new everything, really.
New facets of play as well, right? The timing and everything. Z11's risk here really is starting to pay off. And Full Sense are dragging behind. So Z11 taking a much needed victory lap around as we get started with this next one. Round 18. Try to get a kill or something. I think the only real win here for Full Sense is that they have the loss bonus, so they will have better weapons from the looks of it. Drone being used now. Potter still holding a position. On the corner here in HYK! Oh my goodness, where was that from? Potter tries to reposition. Tries to get out of harm's way as he hits another shot. No way he's
They're
going to get clear
alive.
this time, right? Still no plan on the spike just yet, but his efforts with that operator is going to prove some dividends for the team. Right on top of the swing is going to be HYK. No more utility on him, just the speed of his dashes and his slides as he tries to get caught. That trash connects right straight into his face, and this is Full Sense coming back with a vengeance. Nightfall as well for that safety. Tries to get a connection here, has to respect the recon dart for the meantime. The wraparound, the swing around, and it seems like Leviathan is able to hit the shots needed. Now it's Fontes able to go for the swing as he gets them still on top of things. Fontes with the flicks, and it shrugs off all the effort that Full Sense poured into that one.
Oh my goodness, the head glitch. The push Z11 into another winning round despite Potter. And his inspired performance again just to keep his team
One
afloat.
enemy remains.
Ooh, this is
enemy
looking a little
remaining.
dicey for Full Sense here, Aster, and we could be pushing into a map 3.
Yeah, it is feeling that way. Whew. What's the... Is there a way out for Full Sense? I think you've perfectly described it as they are stumped.
Toxins going up.
They are in a doldrum. There are no winds in their sails at the moment, so they have to pray.
Toxins
There is a
screen
gust
down.
of wind, a breath of life to go on their way. Leviathan and the gang, they only really have these 6 shooters to work with. I mean, we know that they're lethal, especially in mass, but again, all Z11 have to do is play smart. Don't give up these angles. There's still a lot of utility they have to clear, though, going into B. But if they choose to strong arm this, then they have the right to do so. Full Sense, they now have a different approach here. They relegate 2 of their players towards the middle portion of the map here. They've receded back onto the site. Z11, I think we're expecting them to fully flood towards A.
Paranoia has already been prepped here by Sephiroth. The smokes give no chances whatsoever. Potter's
dear.
so confused. Even with the overdrive, there was no sense of lethality from him. Sephiroth's hitting a couple of shots with the Sheriff, though, but that's about it, honestly. Kyukugod throws a bit of utility here, maybe stops the planning of that spike. And it doesn't, really. Ardora is able to tank it just because of how, I think, not well placed it was. God and Laz work cut out for them. They have to, oh, yeah. Those kind of misses, that's going to cost them. E211 and Z11 just needs 2 more.
Full Sense, no structure as of the moment. They're trying to make some heads-up plays here and some heads-up calls to try and steer clear of this Z11 warpath.
Down A.
Sephiroth landing some shots himself,
Last player standing.
but once again, statistically, just not a good round to, or not a round with high chances of winning for Full Sense here. Operator in hand, they may look to switch it up again. Laz, who has cooldown just a little bit. Z11, they're looking to work A yet again. They found some semblance of weakness and maybe a gap in this Full Sense armor, and they're looking to just pry it open.
Now,
Yatasha.
quickly charging right in, but seems like there is some intercept here with Full Sense. Still, no real look of sureness. Oh, okay, these shots are looking a lot more crisp compared to the couple of ones that we've seen already. There's the goop being thrown. Leviathan's already on the big wraparound. Lenny inside the smoke, waiting for a bit of that contact.
Spike
Does
down
get killed. Now that spike is already dropped, and Full Sense finally, after so long, find themselves
Where are you?
1 round into the second half. Still, a lot is needed.
My goodness. They finally stopped the onslaught. But it was at the cost
Enemy
of
remains
their own
down.
lead. And plus taking the time to adjust, but they look mighty impressive now, especially Leviathan after that 4K. Tox. I was about to say Toxic Screen, but we have Viper's Pit available on Fontes. We only really have Sephiroth's and potentially Leviathan's going on the defensive side here. The 11, they still have to be careful. I like that they're running with a Sova Odin and are quite like faithful in it, but perhaps they need an adjustment here. Aggression towards the side of Z11. They're aware of this. What is that? doing?
No!
Oh my goodness.
I don't think he realized how close they were, to be fair. Hyuga, oh my goodness! He traces! Not gonna be able to get the kill onto Ardora. That could be a fatal mistake on his part. Ardora has been the strongest of clutchers and 1vxers in this game.
Welcome to my
Keeping him alive could be a dangerous, dangerous feat for Full Sense, especially with the Viper's Pit giving him some much-needed coverage.
Take hold.
They do have a haunt, they do have a seize, and try to use it to utmost perfection if they can. Waiting for the brisk walk, brisk flank of Laz here as he hasn't cleared anything. It's a gamble.
One enemy remaining.
It's a risk that they have to take. Ardora gets the first one to connect. Now he's able to isolate a couple of fights, but they simultaneously swing against him. And that's still Full Sense fighting against the Z11 Corrode onslaught.
That platform has worked wonders for Z11 in the clutch, but this time it is no dice. Full Sense have recovered and are locked in to just try and take this map away. Look at that. Look at that streak of red at the bottom of the map here. Again, Lenny just so unlucky on that timing. I don't think he anticipated that despite hearing the flash out. Maybe he thought that was just a checking piece of utility. But either way, see a few smiles across Full Sense cameras here. At Z11, their last one. Looking to close this out. I believe this is the point of no return for Full Sense because they're gonna have a solid economy up until the end of regulation. Now, is this gonna go into overtime? I think it's a real possibility.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with everything being so close, you just never know, and it is a very real thing that could happen. So, that being said, though, what has been Full Sense doing here that feels like a different mix-up from the last two rounds? Trying to download Z11's pacing and everything, sure, but I think now that they're taking the more initiative approach of just peeking out as a three-man somewhere on the map has been working wonders for them, right? Lesser numbers against Z11 sure is a big boon, but also just having that bigger, that more structured confidence, more rigid confidence just feels like something. Oh, he's gonna pop a shot through his smoke though. Oh, that's very close. Aye, he swings in, kills the annihilation. Yoinks! Oh, it does! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Yeah, Sephiroth just had to escape. Yeah, Killsy already gotten the kill. Very close. Sephiroth with the point blank shot with the operator, but still, that's only a brush stroke. But still, Laz with the flanks finding Lenny on the lurk as well. No, hey, wait, hell no! What's happening? They had the advantage, but then it just is starting to fizzle out with these swings, with these picks. What is happening?
Again, maybe it's unfamiliarity of the map. We don't doubt that they've run their rounds here, but it just takes so long to get the muscle memory, and Killsy could be in a world of hurt. What a great flag there by Laz to find Lenny again on an unfortunate timing, but this is going to be a 3v2 retake with no ults in the hands of Z11 and no real pieces of utility. They have one Molly, they have one Snakebite in the hands of Fontes, but that's really all they can work with. They have to do this old-fashioned way with maximum effort and a little bit of elbow grease. Does Fontes hold on to this angle, though? This could be the key to winning this round out.
Oh! Now they know where he is. It's still a 1 versus 2. He hasn't gotten caught by that seize, though. It's just a little bit too high up. And now there's a smoke right in front of their face. I don't think this smoke is the best, unless Fontes actually doesn't have anywhere to really pop the shot. And it is allowed. Oh, no! Wait. Oh, hey. I thought Fontes actually won that fight. Leviathan just ran through him. That was close.
Oh my goodness. Make a wish. It is 11 on the scoreboard. Potentially we might have a fire sale here for overtime, but you know, we have to focus on some of the individuals here. That's just some unreal shooting on the side of Sephiroth. Plus, Lenny gets caught on an unfortunate timing. Now, this is where you have to calm the team down because there's some things that just have not been quote-unquote fair going in your way as a Z11. You know, there's no way you hit that shot. There's no way I get found on a timing again. Again, these might be the conversations some of the players are having on their mind, but they have to lock in. Otherwise, they get swept. A more immediate timing by Lenny to invest that owl drone. But they all get tagged up, Asterai. This could be a signal or a call to action for Full Sense to maybe clog up the routes.
Yeah, it is going to be quite difficult, though, especially with 3 angles of approach. How are they going to make that happen here? That being said, though, it seems like Z11 are reading the situation well. They're pushing their way into middle, and there's no real defense on that. Oh, no. Sephiroth's about to just peek this, and he's going to... Wait, no, he didn't get caught. He actually responds pretty well. He even has it from the shadows to get out of harm's way if need be. Hides around the corner and gets caught by HYK! And Fontas saves him just by the skin of his teeth. And it's a 3 versus 3. Spike's gonna get planted down. And it's gonna be a retake for Full Sense here. So close is our game. You don't really know who's gonna get the one up as Ardora. No! He spots like 3 of them and gets absolutely nothing. And Fontas barely gets away, but will get shot by Leviathan as HYK gets spotted. Flushed out. Oh no, he actually swings it perfectly. Now, it's oh no. Okay, wrapping around. There's so many crucial positions to this. He's backing away, but does he have the angle to actually stop that defuse? As he's holding a location here, but they've doubled up. He's actually hit both of them, but didn't hit the execution shots on the remaining player that is Laz.
Oh my goodness, what discipline on the side of Full Sense, just to have that much trust into each other, Asterai. But once again, this round looked so close for Z11. Sephiroth nearly single-handedly stopped that push, but it's Laz and the rest of the gang bleeding it up with this information and just the scans. And of course, not allowing the 1v1s to happen. One more round. Now, one thing I have to mention, Asterai, Z11 clawed all the way back just to have a weaker economy on this last round. There now is a Thrash to deal with. There is a neural theft and a stray pick could happen. The cards are stacked against them, but they made it this far. They can't give up now.
I'm out of here.
From the shadows, broken by Potter there. So, no deep Mission Impossible things Ardora could do. There's no Ethan Hunt, at least at this point.
Whoa.
As he slow approaches on mid. This creates a bit of pressure here. Wingman did get a bit of alarm at that location. QQ God is going to use his thrash here, but it does not connect. Oh my god, Sephiroth comes in for the crossfire. As Potter just backs away, does get a kill onto Fontas, but does settles. It's still a 3 versus 3. Oh, that's a pretty important fight between the two of them. Ardora already knows about the flank coming in from Leviathan as he swiftly deals with him. Now it's a 2 versus 3. Potter and teammate gonna have to slowly approach. Do not want to trigger that sound sensor. Perhaps, may chance. Killsy holding the
One enemy remaining.
angle. Gets the 1 kill. Now it's all down to Laz. He has to hit the shot, but does not connect as Lenny comes up big. And ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves the first overtime of Split 3.
This has turned into a really, really exciting match here, Asterai. I'm pretty sure this is just off the back of willpower and grit from both these teams. The Z11, once again, just keeping us on our toes. Incredible firepower being flexed on both sides. And it's just really turned into a brawl. I expect more of that coming into overtime. Now, one thing Z11 has been considerably weaker at has just been their defensive side. This is something that Full Sense can full-on abuse in this matchup. They did in the first map. They did in the first half of Corrode.
Thanks.
And they're looking to do it onto overtime. Now we just have to see if that veteran experience is going to contribute in spades. Really for both ends.
Oh, sheesh. There's nothing else I could have said on that one. That was a crucial frag from Potter. Oh, Fondas. If they lose this Corrode map, that might haunt them. Oh, HYK is just out of there. timing for the retreat, the reposition. Crucial. He does want to go for another fight for the looks of things, but he's getting way close into it, and he just barely gets out. Down to 30. That might actually cost him the round here as he tries to back off out of harm's way, and he's already exposed. Can't really get out of that one as he just gets spotted. Hardora does get the refrag though, but damage be done already. They've lost 2, and they have to go for this retake with just the 3 of them remaining.
Full Set's almost indestructible in this retake, but Lenny trying to will his team into yet another overtime, yet another round win, but Potter is so quick. That's a 3rd for him. He's been coming alive in these last few rounds, Astra, and he's not looking to slow down now. They want to take that sweep. Hardora and Killsy still looking for some gaps in this defense, but it is just not possible. We had 1 Neon Ace in the first half. Can we get another? The answer is no! That's like the time you stole the ace from me, right? But once again, Full Sets, they're in the lead. Z11, what can you do now?
Go, go, go.
I felt like he was supposed to get it, right? And then Potter
It
just
looked
started
like
one-tapping. Yeah. You know what? The guy thinks just being a bro.
I think that was an accident. Or I don't know. Maybe like they had the bullets.
Oh, for the ace. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, they spotted him with the
Oh.
haunt, so they know exactly the time of like his peak. But yeah, I mean, they showed the.
I mean,
yeah. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. You go first.
All right. I was just looking at the replay on the kill on Fontes. Yeah, them losing that round definitely started heavily got influenced because of that from because of that pick on Fontes.
Other than that, I mean, in a high-stakes situation, it's good to see like the body language difference really of both these teams, because Full Sense was all smiles. It seemed a little lighthearted. The 11 are fighting for their life, man. Like, they're so locked in. But again, it's because they are fighting for life. They don't want to be swept.
Don't want to make any mistakes, right? Which honestly makes a lot of sense. So, that being said, it's all really risks that these teams have to take when playing such a new map like Corrode. It's only been out, what, like a month or so-ish? So...
Has it been a month already? Honestly, it feels even more recent if I really think about it.
Masters Toronto is where it got debuted, and then...
Debuted.
Yeah, a few days after that is always usually the release. I'll be honest, I haven't played it at all, so... I'm also just
old.
getting into gripes. Yeah. My eyes can't handle the intensity.
At the ripe old age of 30.
31, bro.
Oh, right. I forgot, dude. Oh, my goodness. Well,
Yes, sir.
it has been a few years, but Full Sets are turning back the clock again to repeat history. Z11, what can they do now?
That... Excuse me. This is... Again, this is a... yeah, this is just a different pace that Full Sense takes from time to time here on Corrode. And it is one of those mix-ups that catches Z11 off guard. And this is where it gets painful to watch, because now this is going to be a 2 versus 5. With Z11 getting exposed on the position, Lenny has left Fontes. He is fighting for his life on the other side of the map, while Fontes is inside, but you can see that Sephiroth... Okay, hold on. Lenny's actually making it happen by himself. And Fontes hits a shot through this? Alright, Hunter's Fury could dodge it, but no. Now the defuse, alright, it's already been half, should have enough time, and that is going to be that. Honestly, it looked like it should have been something else, maybe another overtime, but not.